everyone. Today we are going to talk about chapter number 3, which is known as air pollution. Topics which we are going to cover about air pollution is sources of air pollutant, classification of air pollutant, effects of air pollutant and control of air pollutant. So these 4 topics we are going to cover in this chapter. Now first of all, we are going to learn about chapter number 3, which is air pollution. Then let us know what do you mean by air pollution. So air pollution is defined as presence of unwanted and undesirable foreign particles and gases in sufficient quantity and duration in the air, which may have adverse effect on human beings, animals, plants, vegetation and important structure. So there are 2 types of sources of air pollution, natural sources and man-made sources. Natural sources are adding pollutant in the atmosphere by natural processes like pollen grains, volcanic eruption, forest fires, salt spray from ocean, dust storm, marshy land, bacteria and other microorganisms and photochemical reactions. So these all are occurring through natural process and creating pollution in the air. And there are certain processes which are occurring due to human beings or activities done by human beings. Those sources are known as man-made source of air pollution. For example, industrial units, thermal power plant, automobile exhaust, fossil fuel burning, agriculture activities, mining, aircrafts, nuclear explosion, domestic burning of woods. All these activities occur due to activities done by human beings. So that's why they are known as man-made sources of air pollution. Now, let us learn about man-made sources which can be classified into 3 categories generally. So first is point or stationary source, second is line or mobile source and third is known as area source of air pollution. So what do you mean by point source or stationary source? We have already learned in chapter number 2 water pollution, where there were sources of water pollution which was divided into 2 categories, point source and non-point source. Here also man-made source of air pollution can be divided into 3 categories, point source, line or mobile source and the third one is known as area source. So what do you mean by point source? As in water pollution, point source means that when you can identify from where the pollution is emitted in the atmosphere, that is known as point source. Okay, what is line or mobile source of air pollution? The sources of air pollution are the automobile, as these add pollutants along a narrow belt and over a long distance. So here it is very simple. When automobile is moving from one point to another point, it is creating pollution in that whole range of distance. So that's why it is known as line source or mobile source of air pollution, as it is moving and creating pollution through that belt. Similarly, we have learned point source. In point source, we can identify the location and it is stationary. So that's why it is known as point source of air pollution, because you can easily identify the location from where the pollution is coming. Line or mobile source of air pollution is where an automobile is moving from one place to another place and creating pollution in that narrow belt, that is known as line or mobile source. As automobile is moving from one point to another point, that's why it is known as line or mobile source of air pollution. Now what do you mean by area source? Area source of air pollution is when towns and cities and industrial area, for example GIDC is an industrial area, so it is creating pollution in that particular area, that's why it is known as area source of air pollution. Now, so here in the figure you can see air pollution through different sources. For example, here there is an industry at the end of the figure, so that means that is point source of air pollution. Then you can see automobiles moving, trucks and everything moving on the road, so that is known as line or mobile source of air pollution, because through whole road from one point to another point where the destination is, where they want to reach, they are creating pollution, so that is known as line or mobile source of air pollution. and the whole figure where all the pollution is added in that area, that is known as area source of air pollution. So here you can very clearly see what are the effects of air pollution on human being, how we are exposed to the pollution in the atmosphere. So you can easily see in the figure the amount of air pollution added in the atmosphere through different sources. Air pollution can be classified into two categories. The first one is based on origin and the second one is based on state of matter. Based on origin, they are classified into two categories, primary air pollutants and secondary air pollutants. And based on state of matter, they are classified into two categories, gaseous air pollutant and particulate air pollutant. So what do you mean by primary air pollutant? What do you mean by secondary air pollutant? What do you mean by gaseous air pollutant? What do you mean by particulate air pollutant? We'll study that in detail. So first of all, we know that air pollutants are classified into two categories, primary air pollutants and secondary air pollutants. So what are primary air pollutants? So they are emitted directly from the source and are found in the atmosphere. For example, SO2, NO2, HC, ash, smoke, dust, mist, they are emitted in the atmosphere directly in the form of pollutant. So they are known as primary pollutant. They don't require any other gases to combine with to form a pollutant. From the source from where they are emitted, they are pollutant and they create pollution in the atmosphere. That's why they are known as primary air pollutants. Now what do you mean by secondary air pollutant? So these are formed in the atmosphere by chemical interactions between primary pollutant and atmospheric constituent. So from the source, the pollutant is emitted in form of primary air pollutant, but they combine with the other gases present in the atmosphere and again form a pollutant. That's why they are known as secondary air pollutant. For example, O3 is a secondary air pollutant. Sulfur trioxide is a secondary air pollutant. PAN is a secondary air pollutant. Aldehydes are secondary air pollutants. Ketones are secondary air pollutants because they are formed when primary air pollutant reacts with other constituents and form a secondary air pollutant. So air pollutant is also classified on base of state of matter. So first is known as gaseous air pollutants because they are in gaseous state at normal temperature. For example, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxides, hydrocarbons, photochemical oxidant, these all elements are in gaseous state at normal temperature and they create pollution in the atmosphere. That's why they are known as gaseous air pollutants. But what do you mean by particulate air pollutant? These includes suspended droplets, solid particles, or their mixture in the atmosphere, then they are known as particulate air pollutants. For example, aerosol, dust, smoke, fume, mist, fog, fly ash, soot and natural particulates such as pollen grains, protozoa, fungal, spore and volcanic dust are known as particulate air pollutant because they are not in gaseous form but they can be in solid form or in form of suspended droplets. So that's why it is known as particulate air pollutants. So now all these air pollutants which we have discussed like gaseous air pollutant or particulate air pollutant or based on origin, primary air pollutant, secondary air pollutant, how they are harmful to us. So let us learn how they can affect us. So carbon monoxide is a very dangerous air pollutant. If the proportion of carbon monoxide increases in the atmosphere, it will be very harmful to us. So what are the properties of carbon monoxide? So it is colorless, tasteless gas, odorless gas. It has no effect at normal concentration of 0.1 ppm, but at higher concentration it seriously affects the human metabolism. So all these air pollutants which are entering the atmosphere ultimately are affecting the environment. In environment, human beings are also there, plants are also there, animals are also there. All the components of environment are affected by the air pollutants. So What are the sources of carbon monoxide? Why carbon monoxide is increasing day by day? So volcanic eruption, natural gas emission, electric discharge during cloud formation, marsh gas production, etc. Transportation sources contribute about 64% of carbon monoxide in the air. Forest fire and agriculture burning contribute about 17% of it in the air. So these all are the sources of air pollution. Now, what is the effect if the carbon monoxide increases in the atmosphere? What will be its effect? We'll discuss it. First, there are also other sources of carbon monoxide. Industrial process such as electric furnace and blast furnaces in the iron and in steel industries are releasing high amount of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere. Petroleum refining, paper industry, gas manufacture, coal mining, all these are the sources of carbon monoxide. Now, how it is affecting the human beings? It reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of blood by selectively combining with hemoglobin, forming carboxyhemoglobin. So, what does it do? Oxygen is reacting with hemoglobin in normal process. But if the concentration of carbon monoxide increases in our surrounding, carbon monoxide will react with hemoglobin rather than oxygen reacting with hemoglobin. So that causes giddiness, laziness and exhaustion. It reduces vision and causes cardiovascular disorder. Carbon monoxide is a very dangerous asphyxiant and its high levels are fatal to human life. So it's a very dangerous gas. If the amount increases, it can harm us very badly. So we should reduce the emission of carbon monoxide in the atmosphere and save ourselves. Now, carbon dioxide. So we all know as global warming is increasing, what is the reason of global warming increase in the atmosphere? Because carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere. The content of carbon dioxide in the air has increased approximately 15% during the last century. In spite of the fact of photosynthesizing of green plants balance the CO2-O2 ratio to large extent. So what does plant do? Plant balances the amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. But because of human beings, the activities done by human beings, the carbon dioxide amount is increasing day by day. So what are the sources of carbon dioxide? Fossil fuel burning, agricultural practices like deforestation, forestry are the example of increase of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Now, how carbon dioxide is affecting human beings or the environment? Its major effect is known as climate change, which is also known as greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is when the amount of carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere, the temperature in our surrounding increases, causing global warming. So CO2 is less dangerous than carbon monoxide, but it can also cause nausea and headache. So these are some effects of carbon dioxide on human beings. Nitrogen oxide is colorless, odorless gas. What are the sources of nitrogen oxide in the atmosphere? Fuel combustion in automobile and industry, lightning, forest fire, bacterial decomposition of organic matter. These all are the sources of air pollution in the environment through the medium of nitrogen oxide. Now, what is the effect of nitrogen oxide on human beings? So again, as carbon monoxide was reacting with hemoglobin, similarly nitrogen oxide is also reacting with hemoglobin and reducing the amount of oxygen in the body, right? So it affects very badly to us. NO2 is more toxic than nitrogen oxide and may affect lungs and cause bronchitis. So mostly air pollutants cause respiratory diseases. NO2 is reacting with atmospheric moisture to form nitric acid, causes acid rain and affects vegetables and metals. Now, oxides of sulfur. How oxides of sulfur is affecting the atmosphere? Sulfur oxides includes SO2 and SO3, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide is colorless gas having pungent and suffocating odor. Now, what are the sources of sulfur dioxide? Most of the sulfur oxide pollution, 67% due to volcanic activities and other natural sources. Burning of solid and fossil fuel will release sulfur in the atmosphere. Transportation releases sulfur in the atmosphere. Industries like paper manufacturing, plants, refineries, sulfuric acid and plant. Open burning of refuse and municipal incinerator are releasing sulfur in the atmosphere. So these are the sources of sulfur in the atmosphere. So what are the effects of sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere or sulfur oxides in the atmosphere? It causes cardiac disease, asthma, bronchitis, eye irritation, throat troubles, etc. are caused by sulfur oxides. Long-term exposure to high level of sulfur dioxide gas causes respiratory illness and heart disease. Oxides of sulfur attacks building materials, especially marble and limestone. You can see the example of how sulfur oxides are affecting the monuments. Then you can give the example of Taj Mahal, how yellow patches are there on the marble because of sulfur oxide present in the atmosphere in high amount. Sulfur oxide reacts with moisture in the atmosphere to form sulfuric acid, which causes acid rain affecting vegetables and matter. Oxides of sulfur may affect clothes, leather, paper and plants also. So sulfur oxides are also very dangerous and it is affecting us in a greater amount. Now what do you mean by hydrocarbons? So elements made from hydrogen and carbon are known as hydrocarbons. The bond of hydrogen and carbon is present in that element. So the gaseous and volatile hydrocarbons are mainly responsible for air pollution. Common hydrocarbon includes methane, ethane, acetylene are known as hydrocarbons. Now, what are the sources of hydrocarbons? So coal field, natural fires, incomplete combustion from car engines, forest fires, agriculture burning, coal waste fire, these all are the examples of hydrocarbon emitted from the source. Now, effects of hydrocarbons. Aromatic hydrocarbon may cause cancer. Unburned hydrocarbon with oxides of nitrogen in the presence of sunlight from photochemical oxidants like ozone, PAN, which are harmful. So what is the effect of hydrocarbon in the environment? So hydrocarbon may cause cancer. Also, unburned hydrocarbon with oxides of nitrogen in the presence of sunlight from photochemical oxidants like ozone and PAN, which are very harmful. So now, another source of air pollution is known as photochemical oxidants. The major photochemical oxidant is known as ozone. Why they are known as photochemicals? Because the reaction is happening in presence of sunlight, so that's why they are known as photochemical oxidants. Now, ozone is produced in the upper atmosphere by solar reaction. Small concentration of this gas diffuses and become a major concern in air pollution. In the presence of sunlight, the oxides of nitrogen reacts with unburned hydrocarbon and releases the exhaust of automobiles and following a series of complex reaction produced secondary pollutants like PAN, ozone, aldehydes and ketones and etc. So what is photochemical oxidants? Photochemical oxidants are formed when unburned hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxides react with each other in presence of sunlight. Then they produce a photochemical smog, which is known as pollution. So when ozone gas is produced, oxygen molecules are reacting in presence of sunlight and ozone is produced. When this gas diffuses downwards, it is creating air pollution in the environment. Now, let us learn effect of photochemical oxidant. So, photochemical oxidant can cause irritation of eye, nose and throat, headache, etc. Ozone damages chromosome. We all know how ozone is affecting the chromosome and affecting our genes. Ozone and PAN cause damage to plants by interfering with plant cells metabolism, especially in leafy vegetables. Premature fall and yellowing of leaves are due to this pollutant. So premature falling of leaves is due to photochemical oxidants. Photochemical oxidants also affect the materials like rubber, plants, textile fibers are affected due to photochemical oxidants. Okay, so till now what we have learned, sources of air pollutants which were in gaseous state. Now we are going to learn about sources of air pollutant which are in particulate matter form, which means they can be in form of solid particles or in form of suspended particles in air. Thank you for watching this video and hope to see you in the next lecture of air pollution.